Welcome everyone. Today's video finds us over here on one of the many canals that kind of made the transportation network of the old city of Ayutthaya. We're going to take a look at one of the historic temples here. We're going to take a look at Wat Chedi Daeng, or the monastery of the Red Funeral Monument. I think that's the literal translation. Anyway, this is an old Ayutthaya temple, and it's still an active temple today. There's still monks and residents here, and the locals come here from all over because they believe that the monks here have like a supernatural power to bless your cars. So they come here whenever you buy a new car, and the monks will bless it and give your, I guess you're driving a lot better chance of surviving on the Thai roads, which in this country you need all the help you can get. There's a reason why there's a lot of motorcycle, car accidents, everything else, because it's a bit chaotic. Anyway, we'll look around here at the temple and we'll see what we see. And right here, we got a little cat that's here. Found him a good shade spot. So this is the canal, one of them, and then there's another canal kind of off to the east of here, and then the Lopburi River is to the south. So anyway, we're gonna come. This is kind of unused anymore. The canals are just not part of the transportation network. Everybody uses cars and drives on the road, but they still have it here. They still have the pier. And then right here behind it is this cool looking Chedi. I really like the old bell tower. You can see it's kind of falling apart now, but still pretty cool styling. And then they built a new one back over there. And these are monk quarters, stuff like that. And then over here we have the drums, and you can see where the monks have been washing their robes. And then this little tiny bell-shaped Chedi. And you can see it's kind of cracking and listing. So the top will probably collapse and fall off one of these days. And then just over here, this is the main draw, is that old building over there. And then they have this cool looking Chedi, and then they have all the other little Chedis. Now the temple is doing a lot more building. They built this red building over here. They're still doing some stuff in there. You can see it has the laterite stones that they're using. And then they're building all these new buildings over here. So that is more of the monk quarters, and then they have this new Wehan that's going right there. I thought this was kind of interesting. So it has Captain Charles Arthur Joseph Vanderpeer. Now what it is I guess they've made a bunch of donations to the temple, and up there they have like a shrine and stuff like that. So the monks will do things up there also. But I think they made donations. There's like 4 people that have made donations to the temple there to help build the dormitory. That's what they're calling the monk quarters. Let's look in this building right quick. So this will be a big like sermon hall. So they have the Buddha here, and you can see they've done like detail work up around the top. It's kind of a cool use of these laterite stones. And then it'll be a big open area here so the monks can do some stuff. And you can see they got some teak wood doors and this lime green, kind of a blast to like 1960 with that lime green. And you got a crematorium over there. Let's walk through here and let's look at this Chedi. We got some of the little statues here, and then the Buddha with like the Naga, and that's right here next to this Chedi. Now the temple name is Wat Chedi Daeng, which means the red Chedi, but doesn't really have a red Chedi. It has this one. The styling is quite nice. It goes up to the top of the spire and everything, but this is right behind the main hall. And then what they've done here, it's kind of different, is all around on the 4 cardinal directions, they've came and they've placed Buddha heads. So you can see here, and they got 2 that are upright and then 2 that are reclining. And that's right here behind the old Ayutthaya style hall. That's the last thing we'll look at here at this temple. You can see that had the rail and everything around, and there's like a reclining one. And the plaster starting to come off, so it's kind of needing some TLC. But they're spending their money. Looks like I'm building new buildings. All right, let's go look at this hall. This is the hall, and it's, as you can see, clearly Ayutthaya styling. It's kind of bowed in the middle like a boat. It has a front and a back porch. There was probably right there on the gable, they probably had detail work in the stucco, or it was probably painted. Kind of looks like maybe they had some stucco up there. I could see a little bit in the corner. And then they have the normal sloped porches, and then the ordination stones. And you can see how it's cracked over the years. It's kind of settled. They've tried to repair it a little bit, but it needs quite a bit of work, it looks like. And then they have the wall here. This is where people's ashes are buried. And this is the front porch here. So the Thais will come up and they'll stop right here. They'll make some merit. They'll pray to these. They have the old man monk here. And then over here is a picture of what this old hall used to look like also. Looks like there was some trees and stuff around that are gone. You can see the people have been burning the joe sticks. And you have the high threshold. And then you got the red doors. Let's look inside here. We got an old monk here. He's quite old. And then here is the main images. So it looks like they've redone the plaster work in here. So there was probably murals and stuff on there. And what they've done is they've hung up these paintings now. This is kind of a new addition. They put like little pieces of wood, and then they've just hung those paintings on them. Yeah, if this had the old Ayutthaya style murals and they've been painted over, it's a shame. But you can see here that the plaster is seriously cracked. I mean, look over here in this corner. So this building is settled quite a bit. Now this temple is quite important. It's a couple events in history here for the Thais. Is right here at this temple ground, the Burmese were coming over to set up some of their stockades, and the Ayutthaya, the Siamese, sent a force of 2,000 professional soldiers that were Chinese to come over here and try to knock the fortifications down. And they failed, and then the Chinese were pushed back into Ayutthaya. And right after that, the Burmese were able to breach the walls and destroy the city. And in 1770, they were involved in an event over here with the Cambodians, the Khmer, and the Vietnamese. Now there's two accounts of that. One account says that they fought against the Khmer here, and a second account says that they actually fought the Vietnamese that were attacking the Khmer, or the Cambodians, here at this site, which I'm not sure which one is true. But it's kind of interesting that if there were Cambodians attacking Ayutthaya and the Vietnamese. So anyway, here is the guardians right here at the front of the temple. And you can see the styling of the gate. That's Bangkok era. Has the Erawan's and then another one of the giants. And this temple has just millions of cars. I'm not sure what everybody's parked over here for, but quite a few people are here. And you can see this is another one of the canals here that used to go off to the west, but now it's been filled in there and the road goes. So it's super easy for people to drive here to this temple now. And since it is Thailand, if people show up, people set up little stalls to sell food and all of that. So you got fruit over there for sale, and then over here some people are selling some of the little snacks. And you can just see there's lots of cars here, but I don't see very many people, but lots and lots of cars. And one last thing here, so they have an old boat with a shrine they put in the front, and some of the old equipment they used to process the rice. And then they would have had this little wagon here that they'd have hooked up to a team of oxen. You can see the little shrine in front of the boat. Kind of cool. So that'll finish up our video over here at Wat Chedi Daeng, or the Red Chedi. Even though there's not a Red Chedi on site, it's still kind of cool to see. This is a lot of fun for me. I really like coming and seeing these historic Ayutthaya buildings. I like the styling on it. They're simple. They're not over the top like some of the new temples that you see. I just really like the simple white and red with the little porches and stuff like that. They're not too big. They're still pretty personal, so the people can come here and do what they do. They can make merit. And it's just a lot of fun. This is also kind of a historic temple, like I said in the video about, you know, the fighting with the Burmese here, and then the fighting between the Khmer and Vietnamese, all of that. So anyway, it's a lot of fun to go walk around. They're doing some new construction here. I would really like to see if they would, you know, spend that effort into maintaining this hall. They've done a little bit, but it still needs quite a bit more work to it. But you never know. In Thailand, sometimes these old buildings, they just completely abandon them. Sometimes they fix them up and they use them and they kind of preserve the little bit of history. It's just kind of hit or miss, so you never know what you see. So anyway, if you liked the video, make sure you smash like. If you know something about this temple I didn't say, leave me a comment down below. Or if you have any questions, ask me, and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, stick around, and then you're notified when I post a new video. And I do a lot of videos like this. I show you things that I see and tell you a little bit about what I know. So if you like that, then definitely subscribe, and you're notified when I post something new. And from over here at Wat Chedi Daeng, north of Ayutthaya, remember, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.